Hi. I want to try and make a short film while doodling on one of the sheets of the Unwinding, and this is because we're almost drawing kind of towards the end of this project, and yet it's just really the beginning because the book is printed, it's being sent out to people, and it's reaching shops now as well. And I think it was this week I was supposed to be doing an event with Kenilworth Books. Next week, on the 7th of July, I was supposed to be doing an event with Number 7 Dulverton, and obviously both of these events are not possible now. We didn't know when we were making this book that there would be a global pandemic. Nobody did. And it's affected things in many ways. When the pandemic first started, when it first became more evident in the UK, I was living briefly with my parents in Broadway because my father was ill. And then he died. And this was at a time just before lockdown, so we had the good fortune that my mother could be with him when he died, and this now seems like such a blessing. And I had been due to go on tour with the Spell Songs people, and I love those musicians so much and what they've created, what we've created together. But I could not have gone on stage. Just having lived through my dad's final days and done a performance, because you have to be so open, you have to be in a certain place in order to be able to do that. And I was not in that place. And although I was very sad that the events were cancelled, and all of the musicians' events being cancelled has wreaked a devastating havoc on the economies of my friends who are musicians. You know, they thrive on audience. That's why they make music. I needed to be home. I needed to be home in my studio with my friends and my friends the animals, and I needed to be with paper. So, but now I should be in Kenilworth with Tamsin and Kenilworth Books. We were going to do an event in the most beautiful church. I think it's a medieval church. It looks amazing. And I was going to be painting a small hare while we spoke. John, who is the one of the founders of Unbound and has been my editor and help through the process of creating the book, he was going to be there to talk about the book, and that would have been amazing, but obviously we can't do that. And so Kenilworth and Number 7 both pledged large amounts of money to help the project to go ahead, and as a result they were sent their books, and they've been getting books out to people, and it's been amazing seeing them land on people's desks and in people's hearts and sitting on people's bookshelves. Great. And I'm told that today the pledged copies begin to go out, and it's really difficult because I don't know what you're experiencing with your postal services, but what I'm experiencing is the post kind of, sometimes it takes a day for a first class letter to get somewhere, and sometimes it takes 3 weeks, and things are going lost and stuff just doesn't turn up anywhere, and it's really frustrating. So I'm hoping that people's copy of the book turns up soon. And I understand the frustration of waiting, because I'm waiting myself. I had one set which I've played with, and I've given away my trade copy to Anna at Solver Woolen Mill, who was another one of the people who pledged as a business. I think it's the first time bookshops have ever pledged for copies of the book, rather than just having the trade copies that are available through Amazon. And it's been amazing to have the support of these shops. But then I guess, we've worked together for years and we support each other, and that's fantastic. So, as this project draws not to a close but just to a beginning, when the books move out into their natural habitat, I have another project growing in my mind, which I've just sent. What do you call it? It's called the synopsis. It's not really. I've sent something to John, which is my synopsis, kind of, for new project. It has a similar route as being an aid to meditation that the Unwinding has, but it is grounded in the age-old tradition of tarot cards. I'd always wanted to do a set of tarot cards. I couldn't do them while my father was alive because he was a very committed Christian, and he didn't like parts of the history of them. But I love the idea of taking time in your day to shuffle and to draw a card and to let it speak to you, and to help you to focus your mind on what you want to do, to help you focus on troubles if you have them, and worries if you have them, and to take those away, to address problems, to think about fates, but not to let it rule your life. I guess I was remembering a book called The Dice Man, where all the decisions that this man makes go on the roll of a dice. And I guess, is it that I want to be the card woman? I don't know. I find the act of shuffling cards is calms me. It's like playing with rosary beads, but different. So I guess that's where I'm going next, and I want to look at the stories of where cards were born. I want to look at the people depicted in them, and I want to find new stories and new images, and I want to make them greener. And I want to spend my time also doodling in pages of the Unwinding. And already what I've found with the copy that I had was that I spend time in the evenings, or if I'm sat waiting, thinking about a page, imagining what I might do with certain pages, or finding things in the day that have happened that I might want to write into a page in the book. And I like that. I like that focus, that calming focus of chasing words. Anyway, I would have been in Kenilworth. I would have been talking in a church that has a history. I would have been at Bossington Hall with a few people, cooking something that I really want to do actually sometime soon. Cooking for a simple lunch of soup and bread for a few people, sitting in the evenings around a fire with glasses of wine, talking stories, sharing unwindings, working ways together, finding new ways to live. We're living through times of change. I look forward to cooking with friends, sharing food, sharing stories. And I so look forward to seeing what happens to the silent unwinding in other people's hands. So I hope copies arrive this week. What you must do is check your junk mail, because you should all have received by now, if you've pledged, an email asking you to confirm your address, or change it if need be. People move house from the time they've pledged to when the book is ready. So you need to just check if you've had the email, respond to it and just confirm your address so that people can get your books posted out to you, and that will be brilliant. And then tell me when they've got there, because I find this, more than any other book that I've ever done, this has been a shared path, really, and it's built more of a community before the book, through the bookshops that have pledged, through people who've pledged. It's just been a really lovely way of working, and it is one that I would like to repeat. I'm going to put this picture for sale, and the money from this, I want to go to Kenilworth Books to say thank you to them for pledging, for the beautiful windows that Tamsin Rosewell does, and whoever buys it, the money will go into a fund to put books into local schools in their area, and or into food banks in Kenilworth. So I'll take a photograph of it, and we'll go from there. Thank you. I hold it up. Doodled hair.